Also, you told me that you had your son take the tool. Your
Yes.
son was, I guess he's just entered college, and he did this when he was in
Junior year, actually, yeah.
Okay.
And he's very bright and reads a lot and a good student and great scores, but not your typical, high school student that's class president and going to be running this and leading that. And I was sitting at an awards ceremony one day, and they were calling all these awards for all these kids, and I thought, okay, and my son gets great grades, and he, great scores, and he reads all the time. But he's never going to get called out for one of these awards because he's just not that kid.
So tell me a little bit about that kid. What was that kid like?
Very outgoing. Very involved in the school, in whatever was offered, whether it be community service or if it were, a leadership position particularly. I think schools tend to really reward leadership positions, which is great. And my son would tend to be a little bit quieter in the background, really deeply immersing himself in a subject and kind of getting passed by, I guess you would say.
So okay with friends, but not the most popular kid in the school, or the one who was going to be, prom king or something like that.
Exactly. I mean, not interested in being the most popular kid, and not even noticing whether he was or not. And fine with friends and fine with everybody, but not somebody who was going to jump through the hoops and do the things that school offered just because they were there. He was going to do what he was interested in and get good grades, but there was just something that he had that wasn't really getting rewarded, I guess you'd say, in that typical environment.
So what are his archetypes, then, or how did they show up for him in school?
He is discoverer, and he is conceiver and teacher. And so after reading about it, it makes complete sense. In fact, he said, "This is creepy. How did they know me so well?" But he's the one that's going to be intensely researching something.
Deep thinker.
Deep thinker. Absolutely focused in whatever he's doing, with kind of not really paying attention to what's going on. Kind of your absent-minded professor a little bit.
Yeah. Well, that discoverer has them with a little bit of blinders on to everything else when they're really focused on something that they're interested in pursuing or studying.
And I think for him, what it gave him is the hope that there was going to be a space further on in life where that was going to be recognized, where it would be okay for him to be like that. For example, in college, where he is now, and he's doing wonderfully. And it also helped him get through high school because he realized, the way I do things is valuable. It's okay. I don't have to be class president. I don't have to do, not that he was even really worried about it. I was probably more worried about it. But that the way he approached things was valid, perfect, okay, the way he did it, and that was just fine. And he was going to be able to find a niche in life too. He wasn't always going to go through life, having only these slots rewarded and his kind of ignored.
Well, the best part of this whole process, I think, for him was in the fact that you, as his parent, gave him the chance to discover the best of what it could be. And so much of what we do in our educational system is designed to, and rightfully so, teach us facts and figures and people and places and things. So little of it is enough about helping us understand who we really are at our deepest core and how we can bring that ultimately to what we do and what we choose as a career. So you've done him a great service by allowing him that opportunity.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming back and sharing with us today. Really appreciate it.